Greetings, fellow hunters. While like a supernatural season 4 now continues on with, it's the Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester. The day before Halloween, Sam and Dean are investigating the death of Luke Wallace, who was found having swallowed 4 razor blades after eating some store-bought candy. Dean discovers a hex bag behind the fridge, but no one can find a reason for a witch to want him dead. In the hex bag, Sam finds gold thread, an herb supposedly extinct for 200 years. It's actually a Celtic coin, and the charred finger bone of an infant, all indication of an extremely powerful witch at work. That evening, a high school student drowns in a tub of boiling water at a Halloween party. Her friend Tracy Davis tells Sam and Dean that she doesn't know how it happened, and she doesn't know Luke Wallace. Another hex bag turns up at the couch. With some research, Sam concludes that it isn't a grudge at work but a spell, calling for 3 blood sacrifices over 3 days, the last before midnight on the final day of the final harvest. The witches of the demon Samhain on Halloween, the day on the Celtic calendar where the veil between the living and the dead is thinnest. Once Samhain returns, it can raise other things from hell, which promises a bloodbath if it can't be stopped. On Halloween day, Dean discovers that Tracy is in fact the Wallace family's babysitter. Sam learns a violent altercation with one of her teachers and that she was suspended from school. He and Dean visit Don Harding, the art teacher, whose mask seems to remind Dean of hell. Don claims Tracy nearly clawed his eyes out after he told her work was inappropriate and disturbing, describing pages of cryptic symbols and violent drawings in which he participated in horrific killings. No one can locate Tracy to follow up. The Winchester return to the hotel room, where they find 2 men who Sam quickly points a gun at until Dean reveals one of them is Castiel, but does not know the other one. Castiel greets Sam, who is enthusiastic to finally meet Castiel, while the latter is hesitant to shake his hand but does so and says he's happy Sam stopped drinking demon blood. He enters the other man, who was an angel named Uriel. Castiel asks if they learned the witch's identity, which they confirm before he shows them hex bags was stashed in the wall of the room. The witch is on to the investigation, and they are short on time. Castiel reveals that the raising of Samhain is one of the 66 seals. He advises Sam and Dean to leave town, because he and Uriel are going to destroy it. Dean refuses to leave short of being killed himself, and Castiel agrees to hold off so the witch can be stopped before she summons the demon. Sam is disappointed by the angel's behavior, but Dean asks him not to lose faith in the cause behind them. Babe Ruth is a dick, he says, but baseball's still a beautiful game. Sam realizes that the infant's bone from the hex bag is too charred to come from a normal fire, and they stop back at the high school art department. The hex bag showed up after confronting the teacher, and they find more children's bones in Don's desk. Meanwhile, Castiel tells Uriel to be patient with the humans. There's a reason they saved Dean from hell. He has potential and might succeed at this task. Uriel is not convinced, and urges removing Dean and proceeding with the town's destruction. Castiel rebukes him, saying, "You know our true orders." As trick-or-treaters go about their business, Sam and Dean interrupt Don, sacrificing Tracy in his basement. Sam shoots and before killing Tracy, who reveals herself as a witch and Don's sister. She incapacitates the boys and completes the spell. Sam smears Don's blood on his and Dean's face. They play dead while Samhain rises, possessing Don's corpse and killing Tracy. They follow the demon to a cemetery, and Dean begs Sam to use Ruby's knife rather than his powers to fight him off. Samhain discovers high schoolers partying in a mausoleum and locks them inside, where zombies and ghosts attack them. One student is killed, while the others are freed by Dean. Sam goes after Samhain, who flashes a white light similar to Lilith's, but Sam is unaffected. The demon disarms Sam with Ruby's knife, so Sam falls back in his powers, exercising Samhain at a great physical toll, and in front of his brother. The next day, as Sam is packing, Hero appears and warns him not to use his powers again. He threatens Sam with obliteration the moment he stops being useful to the angels. He also suggests that Dean should get off his high horse, and tells Sam to ask Dean what he remembers from hell. Uriel leaves while his statement causes Sam to realize Dean lied about not recalling his time in hell. Elsewhere, Dean is sitting on a park bench, watching all the children they've saved play. Castiel appears and reveals the angels' true orders: to do whatever Dean told them to do, as a test of his steadiness under battlefield conditions. Dean, thinking he's failed, asserts that he'd make the same decisions all over again if he had to, because of what he and Sam saved. Castiel confides that he was praying Dean would choose as he did, and also that he has questions and doubts about the plan from heaven. He warns that in the coming months there will be more hard decisions for Dean, and the angels do not envy him that. Oh. So anyway, let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. Uriel is introduced, as is when angel slurs for humans, mud monkey. Sam meets Castiel for the first time in this episode. He hesitated shaking Sam's hand at first, but finally grasped it and expressed his approval that he sees his extracurricular activities after referring to him as the boy with the demon blood. Later on, the two become good friends in the next season. Sam brings up how he prayed to angels, which was seen in Houses of the Holy. This episode foreshadowed the season 5 subplot of Dean refusing to give Michael permission to use him as a vessel. In both instances, giving the angels permission resulted in the deaths of a substantial number of people to save the world. And in both instances, Dean stubbornly refused to sacrifice the few for the many. Dean lied to Sam about not remembering Helen Lazarus Rising, and here Sam realizes the truth. And now finally take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. This episode reveals Castiel to be something more than just a dick with wings. His pure, almost innocent personality and wonder for humans endeared him to audiences and resulted in his originally planned 10-episode run being extended for another 2 seasons and his elevation to a main character. Uriel's open verbal distaste for Dean's own self-righteousness foreshadowed the revelation of Dean's actions in hell and their lasting consequences. Uriel's willful disregard when it comes to following orders foreshadows his future disobedience. His desire to smite the whole town, even when it could be saved, also showed he cared nothing for human life. In traditional lore, the angel Uriel is known as the Angel Purification, earning him the title of the Purifier, which is probably why Castiel introduced him as a specialist. Uriel alludes to this title when he says, "This is the first time I've purified a city." Uriel's status as a grunt angel is at odds with traditional lore, given that Uriel is often identified as an archangel. This is the first time that Sam sees an angel. When Castiel tells Uriel he is close to blasphemy, he's referring to God's decree that angels love and marvel at humans more than they did him. The name of the demon Samhain comes from Irish Gaelic, and is correctly pronounced in English as Samhain. Oh, sorry about that. The episode's title is a reference to the TV special It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. The episode's Agent Getty and Agent Lee are a reference to Geddy Lee, who is lead vocalist, bassist, and keyboardist for the Canadian rock band Rush. The alias Dean gives after the second death is Agent Seeger, which is a reference to classic rock icon Bob Seger. The art scene, as Sam explains the lore surrounding Samhain, is reminiscent of Gustave Dore's illustration in Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, Inferno. The scene where pretty girl Jenny, who was dressed in a nurse's costume, dies after being scalded in hot water while bobbing for apples, could pay possible homage to the original Halloween 2, where a nurse named Karen is killed by Michael Myers in a similar fashion. The zombie Samhain race seem to be less resilient than other necromancy-raised zombies in the show, as Dean succeed in destroying them solely by staking them to the ground with silver stakes, rather than by using silver stakes to stake them into their own coffins. The scary leprechaun referenced by Dean in the episode is like a reference to the 1993 horror film titled Leprechaun, about a maniacal leprechaun who commits genocide to reclaim his 100 stolen gold coins. So overall, I think it's a pretty interesting episode, and considering that takes place the day before Halloween, that's when things really start to go bump in the night, so yeah. So overall, I give It's the Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester 4 Impalas out of 5. Anyway, tune in as we to the next episode, Wishful Thinking. So, until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.